Hello, I'm Deanne, and welcome to Power English for Foreign Execs. Thank you so much for joining me today, wherever you are in this world. So it's either good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. Today, I wanted to talk about enhancing as a foreign executive, your leadership style and how to make that successful while you are working in an American-based company, whether it's in your own country or in the United States, where I am located. Uh, Power English for foreign execs. It's a channel that is interested in helping uh, current executives who are either working in a U.S. company or is a rising star and wants to work in a U.S. Company and want to know how to enhance their English speaking skills. You know, standard English is just not enough. And as you well know, so the more that you understand the language and cultural awareness, and really that's what Power English is about. It's an effective usage of idioms and expressions and understanding cultural nuance and cultural awareness of the American workplace. So today I wanted to spend time talking about 4 ways that a foreign executive may enhance his or her leadership skills to be successful in the American workplace. So I have a few notes here that I want to make sure that I make sure that I include very pertinent or key information. The first way to enhance leadership styles is to really understand American leadership styles and approach. It is not only important for you to understand if you're currently working in an American company, how to work with your direct supervisor to understand his or her leadership style, but also to understand the different leadership styles within the company as a whole. So be extremely observant. If you have a particular style, but it does not complement the success for the American workplace, it doesn't hurt to learn a few more skills and learn some experiences about other types of management style. But one most important thing is that in the American workplace, as in the American culture, our style is open, inclusive. So no matter what the style is, it's going to have some significant parts of that for um, for you to be effective there, and lead by example and demonstrate your own ethical values. One of the other things that's really important is that we are a culture that has learned that transparency is what builds closeness, integrity, honesty among teams and also with leaders to be able to say, hey, if we have an issue, we have to tell others. We can't just keep it to ourselves or hide it under a rock or put our head in the sand. We have to be able to demonstrate those ethical values. And you also have to be collaborative, very collaborative, whether it's within your own department, within your division, or with the company. Second thing, cultural awareness. Cultural awareness, learn about American cultures and customs. That's a given. But be sensitive to and avoid making judgments about other cultures. This country has many, many cultures, ethnic groups, and other classes of people that you may have not encountered in close proximity, and now you're working with them. So make sure that you have a very strong cultural competence. I don't know if you've heard that expression, but cultural competence is to respect and well, respect the different culture and also show that you have an understanding of their important contribution to the whole of the company. Um, and that those groups of people also feel, you have to make them feel that they are also an equal part of the company. So it's a respect of diversity. So diversity can run the gamut of immigrants, it can run the diversity of various ethnic groups, women, those who are disabled. They may be at your level, may be below your level, and also above your level. And you are, by law, these groups, so to speak, are protected. And within the American company, they're also protected by company policy and by general goodwill. So I will talk a little bit more about that in another video, more about diversity, equity, and inclusion, because that's a new trending um, uh, area of human resources in the company. The third thing is decision making. You have to be very proactive in your decision making and be comfortable in working in an environment where decisions are made very quickly, but you have to be proactive in sharing and being involved in the decision making, either with your team or with your supervisor directly. You cannot be odd man out. Even if you have one suggestion, be part of the decision discussion. You may not make the final decision, definitely, but you have to be included, and you have to include yourself in making suggestions on how a situation, how a project could be. If there's a delay in a project and it's your project, you can't go to the supervisor and say, there is a delay and then leave. You have to have at least one suggestion as to how to effectuate a quicker response for the project. Remember, your customers, your vendors, are waiting for this product or service from you. So you can't put your head in the sand again and say, well, let somebody else make the decision. Somebody else will make the decision. But if you're not seen as part of the collaboration and inclusivity, then why are you there? Why are you there? And how do you create and enhance your leadership style if you're not speaking up? And as I said in the first part, that you encourage open communication and also to give feedback to your team. If you are the team leader, encourage open communication, but at the same time, give feedback and make the feedback as positive as you can, because you don't want to close down your team that they feel uncomfortable bringing up new ideas because they're going to say, well, oh, forget it, so and so is not even going to listen to what I have to say. Make sure that the communication always remains open. Okay? Yeah. And then the next one is business etiquette. That could be a whole other or several videos for that. But be respectful of time and punctuality, and make sure that you meet or try to meet deadlines. If something is delayed, um, you know, inform quickly about the delay. Inform your team, inform your supervisors, but don't just hold it and say, well, something will come up and hopefully something will turn up and it will be great. No, That doesn't work. Uh, you have to inform. This goes back to transparency. And part of transparency is to inform immediately. Don't wait forever before you finally said, well, we have this delay. Well, when did this delay start? A week ago, 2 weeks ago, 2 months ago, and no one told the supervisor, no one told the team that this was going to occur because you didn't want to look bad or to lose face. Uh, Not a good idea here because that doesn't contribute to the fast-paced results outcome that American companies want and are well known for. And maintain professional appearance. For the first meeting, whether it's for the job interview or you're going to meet a client for the first time, always ERR, always err on the side of the traditional business attire, unless you know the person from other past relationships. You may have worked with each other at another company, you know each other, but really to show that level of respect, traditional business attire initially. And when your company says, well, it's casual Fridays, but you're going to meet with a client, just make sure you're wearing that traditional business suit. Then maybe after that, depending on the environment, you can change into casual. And it's casual business attire, not casual athletic attire. That goes for men and for women. It's casual business attire. So be observant and see what your colleagues are wearing. There is a distinction between casual business and just casual athletic attire or social um, attire. One other thing is to respect physical space and uh, and gestures. There are some cultures where physical space between people are much closer. Americans, even though we are outgoing and friendly, we still have that maintenance of some distance, especially when you're meeting people for the first time. It's not the kissing and the hugging as with other cultures. Handshake will do, maybe even, you know, well, I guess because of the pandemic, now that it's over, people are still fist bumping to make sure they're not catching anything. But the handshake is still the normal initial gesture of welcome and hello. But physical space is usually not too close, not too close, especially on first meeting. Um, and also just make sure that when you are just to go back to decision making, just make sure that when you are making decision that it's also affecting, think about how it affects not only your division, your department, but how it affects the whole company. And that's where ethical values come into place. I cannot stress enough about the importance of demonstrating ethical values and familiarize yourself with employment regulations of the United States. On your spare time, you need to do that because as a leader, you should be aware of many of the employment regulations. So I hope that this was So I hope that this was very helpful to you. There will be more videos where I talk about, how to chair a meeting, some buzzwords in sales and marketing, and many, many others. But I hope that you will subscribe. If you like what you hear and you'd like to hear more, let me know what you think. Subscribe, give a thumbs up. I'd love to hear your comments and know uh, many topics that you may want to hear in the future. But I will be here for Power English for Foreign Executives. And my name is Deanne. And thank you so much for joining me today. Have a wonderful day and see you soon.